Stop. You haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Subscribe now. We have new stories every day. Now, let's go. Sergeant Tristan Lake's fingers drummed against the steering wheel as he passed the Welcome to Maplewood sign. 15 months of combat deployment had left their mark. His knuckles were scared, his face weathered, but his military posture remained ramrod straight, even after 20 hours of driving. The evening sun painted the suburban landscape in shades of amber, and for the first time since crossing the state line, he allowed himself to smile. The familiar streets of his neighborhood beckoned like an old friend. Kids playing basketball paused their game to watch his dusty truck pass, reminding him of all the times he promised Melody they'd shoot hoops together when he returned. His 10-year-old daughter's face filled his mind. Her gap-toothed smile in their last video call, the way her eyes lit up when she talked about school, how she always signed off with their special wave. "Almost home, baby girl," he murmured, checking his watch. 6:47 p.m. Perfect timing. Melody would be finishing dinner, and Alina. His smile faltered slightly. The last few video calls with his wife had been strained, her responses clipped. He'd attributed it to the stress of separation, the burden of running the household alone. Nothing that couldn't be fixed now that he was home for good. The truck's GPS chirped, announcing his final turn. Tristan's heart rate picked up as he rounded the corner on Cypress Lane. His eyes automatically swept the street. 15 months in a war zone had hardwired certain habits. Something felt off, but he couldn't place it. The houses looked the same. Mrs. Oakley's ancient Volvo still sat in her driveway. The Alvarez kids' bikes were scattered across their lawn. Then it hit him. No yellow ribbons. No "Welcome Home" hero signs. Military families in Maplewood had a tradition. They'd decorate the whole street when a service member returned. He'd helped put up those signs himself dozens of times. Maybe they didn't get the memo, he muttered, but his combat instincts were screaming now. His eyes locked onto his house at the end of the street, and the truck screeched to a halt in the middle of the road. A sold sign stood in his front yard like an enemy signal. Tristan's training kicked in automatically. Assess, analyze, act. The flower boxes Alina had insisted on. Gone. The wind chimes Melody made in art class. Missing. The security cameras he'd installed before deployment. Removed. The curtains in the windows replaced with generic blinds. He pulled into the driveway on autopilot, his mind racing through scenarios. Maybe they'd moved to a better house. Maybe there was a mix-up with the realtor. Maybe. The key wouldn't turn in the lock. Tristan tried again, his steady hands belying the tremor in his gut. Nothing. He pressed his ear to the door. No TV sounds. No cooking noises. No Melody practicing her violin. "Everything okay there, Sergeant Lake?" He turned to find Mr. Oakley approaching cautiously from next door. The elderly neighbor's face was etched with concern. "My key's not working," Tristan said, his voice controlled. "Have you seen Alina or Melody today?" Oakley's expression shifted to something worse than concern. Pity. "Son, they haven't been here for weeks. Your wife, she had a moving company come, said you've been transferred to another base." The world tilted sideways. Tristan's hand found the doorframe, steadying himself. "When?" "About 3 weeks ago. There was a man with her. Young fellow. Kind of sketchy looking. Didn't much care for the way he was acting. But your wife said everything was fine." Ice filled Tristan's veins. "What man?" "Never caught his name. Tattooed. Drove a flashy car. Nothing like you military folks." Oakley hesitated. Things hadn't seemed right for a while. A lot of late-night visitors when you were gone. Strange cars in the driveway. "We tried calling the base once, but your wife explained everything away." Tristan's phone was in his hand before the old man finished speaking. Alina's number went straight to a disconnection message. His text messages from the past month sat unanswered. Excuses about bad reception, promises to video chat that never happened. He scrolled through his contacts with mechanical precision, each failed call ratcheting his dread higher. Alina's parents, disconnected. Her best friend Sarah, straight to voicemail. His army buddy Jonas, who lived nearby. No answer. Finally, his brother's name, Damien Lake. 1 ring. 2 rings. Tris. Damien's voice carried a weight that turned Tristan's blood to ice. Where are you? At the house. Where's my family? His tone was deadly quiet, the same voice he used when commanding troops in combat. A pause that lasted eternities. Melody's here with me. She's safe. And Alina. Another pause. You need to come over. Now. Tell me. Not over the phone. Tris. Please. Just get here. The line went dead. Tristan stared at his phone, then at his empty house, then at Mr. Oakley, who was still hovering uncertainly. The security cameras, Tristan said suddenly. Did they record anything? Oakley nodded slowly. They did, until your wife had them taken down about 2 months ago. Said they were broken. 2 months. The timeline started forming in Tristan's tactical mind. The shortened video calls, the missed check-ins, the growing distance in Alina's voice. If you need anything, Oakley started, but Tristan was already moving. The drive to Damien's house would take 15 minutes. 15 minutes to rein in the rage building in his chest. 15 minutes to prepare for whatever truth awaited him. 15 minutes to ready himself for war. Because every instinct told him that's exactly what this was. His phone rang. Unknown number. Hello. Daddy? Melody's voice was small, uncertain. Are you really home? The rage stilled, replaced by a love so fierce it hurt. I'm really home, baby girl. I'm on my way to see you right now. Promise. Have I ever broken a promise to you? No. A pause. Daddy, I tried to be strong. Like you taught me. His grip tightened on the steering wheel. I know you did, sweetheart. You're the strongest person I know. Even stronger than you. Way stronger than me. He swallowed hard. I'll be there in 10 minutes, okay? We can have ice cream. And you can tell me all about school. Okay. Her voice brightened slightly. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, baby. More than anything. The call ended, but Melody's voice echoed in his mind. She tried to be strong, which meant she needed to be strong, which meant Tristan's foot pressed harder on the accelerator. The sun was setting behind him, casting his shadow long across the road ahead. In the growing darkness, his eyes held the cold focus of a predator. Someone had hurt his family, made his daughter need to be strong, and Sergeant Tristan Lake was going to make them pay. Damien's house looked exactly as Tristan remembered it. Small, neat, with his brother's prized motorcycle parked in the driveway. The porch light clicked on as he approached, casting shadows across the collection of Melody's toys scattered across the front yard. A purple jump rope, a worn soccer ball, her favorite chalk drawings decorating the sidewalk. His daughter had made a home here while he was away fighting someone else's war. The front door opened before he reached it. Damien stood in the doorway, his usually carefree face drawn with worry. The brothers locked eyes. 15 months of unspoken history passing between them. Daddy. A small figure darted past Damien, launching herself through the air. Tristan caught Melody automatically, muscle memory from 1,000 such greetings taking over. She felt both familiar and different, taller, lighter, but still his baby girl. Her arms locked around his neck with desperate strength. I missed you so much, she whispered against his collar, her voice thick with tears. Tristan closed his eyes, breathing in the strawberry scent of her shampoo. I missed you too, sweetheart. His hand cradled the back of her head, noting how her dark curls now reached past her shoulders. Too much time. He'd missed too much. When he opened his eyes, Damien was watching them with a pained expression. Something in his brother's face made Tristan's stomach clench. Hey, Melody, Damien said gently. Remember those special cookies we baked for when your dad got home? Why don't you go get them ready while I talk to him? Melody pulled back slightly, her brown eyes, so like his own, searching his face. "You're not leaving again, are you?" The question hit him like a physical blow. "No, baby. I'm home now. I promise." She studied him with an intensity no 10-year-old should possess, then nodded solemnly. "Good. Because Mom said." She stopped abruptly, her small face closing off. "What did Mom say, sweetheart?" "Nothing." Melody slid from his arms, giving him one more fierce hug around the waist before disappearing into the house. Tristan watched her go, noting the slight hunch of her shoulders, the way she glanced back as if afraid he'd vanish. He turned to Damien, his voice low and deadly. "Start talking." His brother ran a hand through his disheveled hair. "Inside. You're gonna need a drink for this." The kitchen was cluttered with evidence of Melody's presence. Homework spread across the table, her favorite cereal in the cupboard, a crayon drawing of 3 stick figures labeled "Me," Uncle Damien, Daddy pinned to the fridge. No mother in the picture. Damien pulled 2 beers from the fridge, sliding one across the counter. Tristan remained standing, his body coiled with tension. "How long has she been here?" 3 weeks. Damien took a long pull from his beer. Elena dropped her off one morning, said she needed a few days to sort things out. Didn't even pack Melody a proper bag. Just her school backpack and whatever clothes she was wearing. The bottle creaked in Tristan's grip. And nothing. She disappeared. Stopped answering calls. We found out later she'd already sold the house. Cleaned out your accounts. She'd been planning this for months. Tris. With who? Tristan's jaw tightened. Damien's own jaw clenched. Guy named Ryan Ryder Alvarez. Real piece of work. Been seeing him while you were deployed. Drug user, small-time dealer. Drives a flashy car. Acts like he owns the world. The bottle shattered. Beer and glass rained across the kitchen floor as Tristan's iron control finally cracked. He braced himself against the counter, chest heaving. How long was it going on? From what we can piece together, at least 6 months. Maybe longer. Damien grabbed paper towels, his movements careful. Started noticing strange cars at your place. Late-night visits. Melody said there were lots of parties when you were gone. Why didn't anyone tell me? We tried. Tris. Remember those calls about checking in more often? The suggestions about coming home early. Damien met his eyes. Elena had everyone fooled. She'd make excuses. Say Melody was acting out because she missed you. Made it sound like we were overreacting. By the time we realized how bad it was. How bad what was? Tristan's voice was a razor's edge. Damien's hesitation spoke volumes. Tris, there's stuff Melody's been telling us. Things that were happening while you were gone. The kitchen suddenly felt too small, the air too thick. What things? Elena. She wasn't just neglectful. She was cruel. Would leave Melody alone for days, barely any food in the house. Brought strange men around, screamed at her, called her names sometimes. He swallowed hard. Sometimes worse. The rushing in Tristan's ears grew louder. Combat flashbacks flickered through his mind. Explosions, gunfire, the faces of fallen comrades. None of it compared to the rage building inside him now. Define worse. Grabbed her hard enough to leave bruises, locked her in her room for hours, told her you weren't coming back, that you'd found a new family. Damien's voice cracked. Melody tried to call you, but Elena caught her, smashed her phone, said if she ever told you what was happening, she'd make sure you never saw her again. Tristan turned to the sink, gripping the edge until his knuckles went white. His military training warred with primal fury. The boyfriend. This writer. Did he ever? Melody says he mostly ignored her, called her kid or brat when he bothered to acknowledge her at all. But he was there a lot near the end. Him and Elena would get high, throw parties. Melody learned to hide in her closet with her headphones on. A small sound from the doorway made them both turn. Melody stood there, a plate of cookies clutched in her hands, her eyes too old, too knowing. I made them myself, she said quietly. Well, Uncle Damien helped with the oven part. They're chocolate chip, your favorite. Tristan crossed the kitchen in 2 strides, kneeling before his daughter. He took the plate gently, setting it aside, then cupped her face in his hands. "Melody, baby, look at me." She met his gaze steadily, so brave it broke his heart. "I need you to know something. What happened? None of it was your fault. None of it. You did nothing wrong. I know." Her voice was small, but certain. "Mom said lots of things, but I remember what you told me before you left, about how Lake families are strong, and how we never let anyone make us forget our worth." "That's right." His throat tightened. "And you are so strong, baby girl, stronger than anyone I know. Even stronger than a whole army. Way stronger." He pulled her close, feeling her small arms wrap around him. Over her head, he met Damien's eyes. "But you don't have to be strong alone anymore. Daddy's home now, and I'm going to fix everything." Damien's expression darkened. He knew that tone, had heard it in combat zones when Tristan made promises that always came true. "Can we have ice cream with our cookies?" Melody asked, her voice muffled against his shoulder. "Uncle Damien said we could when you got home." "Of course we can, sweetheart." Tristan pressed a kiss to her temple, even as his mind began cataloging resources, contacts, methods of tracking. "Why don't you show me where Uncle Damien keeps it?" As Melody led him to the freezer, chattering about her favorite flavors, Damien pulled an envelope from a drawer. "There's something else you need to see, but not now, while she's awake." Tristan nodded almost imperceptibly, his attention focused on helping Melody scoop ice cream. But his eyes had taken on the cold focus of a predator sighting its prey. Later, after cookies and ice cream, after stories and hugs, after tucking Melody into bed with promises that he'd still be there in the morning, he would read that letter. And then the real hunt would begin. Because someone had hurt his little girl, had made her hide in closets, and learned to be strong too young. They thought they'd gotten away clean, thought they were safe. They had no idea what was coming. The house grew quiet as night settled in. Tristan sat at Melody's bedside, watching her chest rise and fall in peaceful sleep. Her small hand clutched his fingers even in slumber, as if afraid he might disappear. The unicorn nightlight she'd insisted on bringing from their old house cast soft shadows across her face, making her look younger than her 10 years. "She hasn't slept through the night since Helena left," Damien said softly from the doorway. "Nightmares. She won't talk about them. But I hear her crying sometimes." Tristan's free hand clenched into a fist. He carefully extracted his fingers from Melody's grip, replacing them with her stuffed rabbit. She stirred slightly but didn't wake. "Show me the letter." Damien led him to the kitchen, pulling the envelope from a drawer. The overhead light buzzed softly as Tristan settled at the table, his movements controlled and precise. The envelope was plain white, unremarkable except for the slight crease where it had been hidden in Melody's backpack. "Found it when we were cleaning out her school things," Damien explained, pouring 2 fingers of whiskey into glasses. She'd been carrying it around for weeks, afraid to show anyone. Tristan pulled the letter out, unfolding it with steady hands that belied the storm raging inside him. The paper was typed, impersonal, cold, like a business letter announcing a termination. His eyes moved across the words, each one burning into his memory like acid. "Dear soldier boy, by the time you read this, I'll be long gone. Did you really think I'd wait around forever while you played hero in some desert? 15 months is a long time, honey. A girl has needs. Ryder's twice the man you'll ever be. He knows how to have fun, how to really live. Not everything has to be about duty and honor, and all that military nonsense you're so proud of. While you were out there playing war games, he showed me what real excitement feels like. No rules, no responsibilities, just pure freedom. I took what I deserve for putting up with your absence all these years. The money, the house, considerate payment for being a military wife. Didn't sign up to be a single mother while you chased medals and promotions. Don't bother looking for me. You won't find us. And even if you did, what would you do? You're too honorable to do what needs to be done, too wrapped up in your precious code of conduct. As for Melody, she's your problem now. Never wanted to be a mother anyway. She's too much like you, all serious and proper, always watching, judging. Ryder says, we'll have our own kids someday, start fresh, without all your military discipline poisoning everything. Have a nice life playing soldier. Maybe if you'd spent less time serving your country and more time serving your wife, things would be different. Enjoy single parenthood. Valinda, the paper crumpled in Tristan's fist. Every word was a knife, but the casual dismissal of their daughter cut deepest of all. He smoothed the letter out methodically, folding it with military precision. She left this for a 10-year-old to find. He said, his voice dangerously quiet. Let our daughter carry this poison around for weeks. Damien knocked back his whiskey. There's more. Bank statements came in last week. She didn't just take your joint accounts. She'd been siphoning money for months, setting up separate accounts, running up credit cards in your name. How much? Nearly everything. The house sale, savings, even Melody's college fund. Close to $500,000 total. The glass in Tristan's hand shattered. Blood mixed with whiskey, but he didn't seem to notice the cuts. What do you know about him? This Ryder. Damien dabbed at Tristan's hand with a towel. Ryan Ryder Alvarez, early 30s, small-time drug dealer who thinks he's a big shot. Has a record, mostly possession charges, some assault. Likes to hang around bars picking fights, showing off that fancy car he drives. And the police won't do anything, Tristan said flatly. She's an adult who left voluntarily, took money she had legal access to. They'll file a report and forget about it. Damien's eyes flicked to the letter. So what are you going to do? Tristan stood, walking to the window. In the distance, sirens wailed. Someone else's emergency, someone else's crisis. His reflection stared back at him, harder than the man who'd driven home hours ago. First, I'm going to be there for Melody. Show her what real love and stability look like. Get her into therapy. Help her process what happened. His eyes hardened. Then I'm going to hunt them down. Every contact I made in the service, every skill I learned. It's all going to matter now. Tris, think about this. You've got a daughter who needs you. Getting revenge. This isn't about revenge. Tristan turned, and Damien took an involuntary step back at the cold fury in his brother's eyes. This is about justice. They didn't just betray me. They hurt my child, made her hide in closets, made her afraid to sleep. You think I'm going to let that stand? What exactly are you planning? I'm going to find them, document everything. The theft, the drugs, the child endangerment. Build a case so solid they'll never see daylight again. His voice dropped to a whisper. And then I'm going to make them understand exactly what they've done. Show them what happens when you hurt a soldier's family. Dad? Melody's small voice came from the doorway. She stood there in her pajamas, clutching her rabbit. I had a bad dream. The transformation was immediate. Tristan's face softened as he turned to his daughter, though the steel remained in his spine. Come here, sweetheart. She ran to him, burying her face in his chest as he lifted her. You were gone again. Mom said you weren't coming back. That's never going to happen. He held her close, breathing in her innocent scent. I'm here now. No more deployments, no more leaving. Just you and me. Promise. I promise. He meant it. Even as his mind began shaping the steps of his plan. How about some warm milk? That always helps with bad dreams. As Tristan moved around the kitchen one-handed, Melody still clinging to him like a koala, Damien watched with mixed emotions. His brother had always been two people. The gentle father who read bedtime stories and kissed scraped knees, and the hardened soldier who'd earned medals for actions he never discussed. Now those two sides were merging into something new, something dangerous. Uncle Damien, can we have cookies with our milk? Melody asked, her voice small but hopeful. Of course we can, kiddo. Damien forced a smile. Special occasion. Right. Later, after Melody had fallen asleep again, the milk and cookies working their magic, Tristan sat at the kitchen table with his laptop. His fingers moved across the keyboard with purpose, accessing databases, sending messages to old contacts, beginning the hunt. On the screen, information about Ryan Ryder Alvarez began to accumulate. Known hangouts, associates, patterns, weaknesses. Somewhere out there, Elena and her drug-dealing boyfriend thought they were safe. They thought they'd gotten away clean, with his money, his dignity, his trust. But they'd made one critical mistake. They'd hurt his child. And Sergeant Tristan Lake had never failed a mission. The hunt was about to begin. 1 week after discovering Elena's betrayal, Tristan sat in his parked truck outside the Crimson Bar, watching the evening crowd filter in. His laptop glowed softly in the darkness, displaying surveillance photos of Ryder Alvarez entering and exiting the establishment over the past few days. His phone buzzed. Damien's nightly check-in. "Everything okay with Melody?" Tristan asked, eyes never leaving the bar's entrance. "She's good. Aced her math test today. Wanted me to tell you she's staying awake until you get home." Tristan's grip tightened on the phone. "Tell her I'm sorry, but this lead. She knows," Damien cut in. "She just misses you. It's been a lot of that in her life lately." The gentle rebuke hit home. Tristan checked his watch. 8:47 p.m. "I'll be home in an hour." "Promise." "Better be." "Oh, and that contact you asked about called back. Jonas said he's got something you need to hear." "Did he say what?" "Just that it involves bank records. And Damien paused. "He said to remind you some of what you're doing isn't exactly legal. Neither is stealing $500,000 and abandoning your child." Tristan's voice hardened. "I'll call them tomorrow." He ended the call, focusing again on the bar entrance. A familiar figure stumbled out. Joey Reed, one of Ryder's known associates. The man was clearly drunk, weaving as he made his way to his motorcycle. Tristan stepped out of his truck, adjusting his civilian clothes. "Time to make a new friend." "Whoa there, buddy," he called out, approaching Joey with an easy smile. "You might want to leave the bike here tonight." Joey squinted at him. "Mind your own business, pal. Just trying to help. I can call you a cab, lot cheaper than a DUI." "I said." Joey started to snarl, then stopped, recognition flickering across his face. "Wait, I know you. You're that soldier, the one whose wife..." Tristan moved with military precision. In seconds, Joey was pressed against his motorcycle, arm twisted behind his back at a painful angle. "Let's talk about that," Tristan said quietly. "About my wife and your friend Ryder. I don't know anything." Joey's voice pitched higher with pain and fear. "Wrong answer." Tristan increased the pressure slightly. "You drink with him every week, party at his place, help him move product. You know everything. He'll kill me if I talk." Tristan leaned closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. "And what do you think I'll do if you don't?" 10 minutes later, Joey was in the back of a cab with a broken phone and a very clear understanding of his situation. Tristan returned to his truck, adding new information to his growing database. His phone buzzed again, a text from Jonas. "Got those records you wanted. Treasury friend came through. You need to see this ASAP." Tristan started the engine, mind already processing the evening's intel. Joey had confirmed what he suspected. Ryder was more than just a small-time dealer. The fancy car, the sudden cash flow, Elena's eagerness to attach herself to him. It all pointed to something bigger. The drive home was automatic, muscle memory taking over while his tactical mind pieced together the puzzle. He pulled into Damien's driveway at 9:52 p.m., 8 minutes early. Light spilled from the front door as he approached. Melody sat on the stairs in her pajamas, homework spread around her. "You promised to help me with long division," she said, her voice carefully neutral. Tristan knelt before her, noting the dark circles under her eyes. "I know, baby. I'm sorry I'm late. Were you looking for Mom again? The question hung between them. Tristan considered his words carefully. I was following some leads about the money she took, your college fund. I don't care about the money. Melody's voice cracked slightly. I just want you here. You promised you wouldn't leave again. Hey, he cupped her face gently. I'm not leaving. I'm right here. But you're not. She met his eyes, too wise for her years. You're thinking about them all the time, planning things, like Mom used to plan her parties when you were gone. The comparison hit him like a physical blow. Damien appeared in the doorway, concern etched on his face. She waited up all night, his brother said quietly. Wouldn't let me help with the math. Said it had to be you. Tristan looked at his daughter's tired face, then at his phone with its dozens of messages and leads. The choice crystallized with military clarity. Give me those homework problems, he said, settling beside Melody on the stairs. Show me where you were stuck. Really? Hope crept into her voice. Really? And tomorrow? Maybe we can work on that science project you mentioned. The one about planets. It's due Friday. She bit her lip. But if you're busy. I'm not busy. Tristan pulled her close, kissing the top of her head. Nothing's more important than this. Over her head, he met Damien's approving gaze. His brother nodded slightly, understanding passing between them. The revenge would come, the intelligence gathering, the surveillance, the careful construction of his case. But not at the cost of his daughter's trust. He wouldn't let Alina's betrayal poison another moment of Melody's life. His phone buzzed again. Jonas, probably with those bank records. Tristan silenced it without looking. Okay, he said, focusing on Melody's math worksheet. Show me where you're stuck. Later that night, after Melody was asleep, Tristan met with Jonas. These aren't just bank transfers, Jonas said the next morning, spreading documents across his office desk. The former Army intelligence officer, now working in financial crimes, had aged since their deployment days. This is systematic fraud. Money laundering. Your wife and her boyfriend got themselves mixed up in something big. Tristan studied the papers, his tactical mind noting patterns. Walk me through it. See these transactions, small amounts, under reporting thresholds, moving through dozens of accounts. Classic laundering setup. Jonas pointed to highlighted sections. But they got sloppy, started moving bigger amounts when they thought they were in the clear. How much? Total. Close to 2 million. Your accounts were just the beginning. Jonas leaned back, running a hand through his graying hair. Ryder's been doing this for years, using girlfriends' accounts, setting up fake businesses. But Alina? She got greedy, started skimming from the laundered funds. Tristan's expression didn't change, but his eyes hardened. She's stealing from him, and he doesn't know yet. Jonas lowered his voice. This kind of money. It's not just drug money. Someone bigger's pulling the strings. When they find out about the skimming, they'll kill her. If they're lucky, Jonas slid a USB drive across the desk. Everything's here. Account numbers, transaction records, shell company details. But Tris, he caught his friend's arm. You need to be careful. These people aren't street thugs. They're organized. Tristan pocketed the drive, his mind already formulating plans. I need names, connection points, anyone who might know where they're holding the money. There's a guy handles their legitimate business fronts. Joey Reed would know him. Already had a chat with Joey last night. Jonas raised an eyebrow. A friendly chat. He'll live. Tristan stood, checking his watch. School pickup was in 3 hours. I need you to run these accounts. Find any properties, vehicles, anything registered to their shells. This isn't exactly legal, Jonas reminded him. You know that, right? Neither is what they did to my daughter. Tristan's voice was ice. I'll owe you one. Jonas sighed, but his fingers were already moving across his keyboard. Give me 48 hours. And Tris. He looked up, concern evident in his eyes. Watch your six. These people don't play by military rules. Neither do I. Not anymore. The morning sun cast long shadows as Tristan left the office building, his mind processing the new intelligence. 2 million in laundered money, organized crime connections, Alina stealing from her own boyfriend's operation. His phone buzzed. A text from Melody. Don't forget about my science project. We're doing Jupiter. A smile touched his lips, softening the hard edges of his expression. He typed back. Already got the materials. See you at 3. The revenge could wait a few hours. Right now, he had a solar system to build. The model of Jupiter dominated Melody's bedroom desk, its hand-painted stripes and carefully placed moons earning an A+ from her science teacher. Tristan studied it while his daughter slept, his mind drawing parallels between the planet's violent storms and the turbulence in their lives. His phone vibrated. Another text from Joey Reed. Crimson Bar. 20 minutes. Got what you asked for. Tristan moved silently to Melody's bedside, brushing a curl from her forehead. She stirred slightly. Just getting some water, baby, he whispered. Go back to sleep. Be careful, she murmured, already drifting off again. The bad men. His jaw tightened. Even in sleep, she worried. He pulled her blanket higher, then slipped out, finding Damien in the kitchen. Another lead. His brother asked, noting Tristan's change of clothes. Dark, practical, easy to move in. Joey Reed has info about their money man. Tristan checked his concealed knife. An old combat habit. Don't wait up. Tris, Damien blocked the door. We need to talk about what this is doing to Melody. I'm handling it. Are you? Because she's not sleeping again. Draws pictures of daddy fighting bad guys in art class. Her teacher called today. Tristan paused, hand on the doorknob. What did she draw? You with a gun, standing over some guy who looks suspiciously like her mother's boyfriend. Damien said softly. She's scared, Tris, not of them, of losing you to this obsession. It's not an obsession, Tristan replied. It's justice. Is it? Because from where I'm standing, it looks a lot like. Like what? Tristan turned, voice deadly quiet. Like protecting my daughter. Like making sure the people who hurt her pay for what they did. Like you're so focused on revenge you're missing what's happening right in front of you. Damien ran a hand through his hair. She needs her father more than she needs an avenger. The brothers stared each other down, years of shared history crackling between them. Finally, Tristan spoke. Joey has information about where they're keeping the money. Real estate holdings, shell companies. Once you have that, there'll be something else. Another lead, another piece of the puzzle, Damien argued. When does it end? When they're behind bars. When my daughter can sleep through the night without wondering if the people who abandoned her are coming back to hurt her again. Tristan's voice cracked slightly. When I know she's safe. Before Damien could respond, Tristan's phone buzzed again. Joey was getting impatient. I'll be back in 2 hours, Tristan said, moving past his brother. If she wakes up. I know. Tell her you're getting water. Damien's tone was resigned. Just be careful. These people play dirty. So do I. The Crimson Bar was quieter tonight. Tuesday's crowd was sparse and subdued. Joey sat in a back booth, nursing a beer with shaking hands. His eyes widened when Tristan slid in across from him. You're late, Joey muttered. Traffic. Tristan's tone made it clear he wasn't interested in small talk. What do you have? Joey glanced around nervously before sliding a manila envelope across the table. Everything about Daniel Chan. Handles all their legitimate businesses, real estate, car washes, construction companies, all fronts for the laundering. How high up is he? High enough to know where every dollar goes. Low enough to be expendable. Joey took a shaky sip of beer. He's getting nervous. Word is money's going missing. Big chunks of it. Tristan kept his face neutral. Missing how? Transfers that don't add up, accounts that come up short. Chan's been cooking the books, trying to hide it. But Joey leaned forward, lowering his voice. Your wife. She's not as smart as she thinks. Chan caught her moving money last week, personal accounts, offshore stuff. How much? Around 50 grand. Ryder doesn't know yet. Chan's trying to figure out how long it's been going on before he tells the bosses. Tristan processed this, his tactical mind assembling pieces. Where's Chan keep his records? Office on Commerce Street, same complex as Ryder's cousin's body shop. Joey's hand shook as he reached for his beer. But you didn't hear that from me. If Ryder finds out I talked. He won't. Tristan stood, leaving several $100 bills on the table. One more thing. My daughter's college fund. Which account did it go to? Man, I don't. Tristan's hand clamped down on Joey's shoulder, applying precise pressure to nerve points. The drunk's face went white. Think harder. Offshore, Joey gasped. Came in an account, numbers in the envelope, but it's probably empty now. Your wife, she's been moving everything around, trying to hide her tracks. Tristan released him, memorizing the fear in Joey's eyes. Fear made people reliable. You never saw me, he said quietly. Never had this conversation. Because if Ryder finds out you talked, it won't be him you need to worry about. Joey nodded frantically, already reaching for another beer. Outside, Tristan sat in his truck, examining Chan's information. The money trail was complex, professional. Shell companies nested within shell companies, properties changing hands through legitimate-looking transactions. But there were patterns, weaknesses. His phone rang. Jonas. Tell me you're not planning what I think you're planning, his friend said without preamble. Depends. What are you thinking? Commerce Street security cameras caught you talking to Joey. You're getting sloppy, Tris. Or I wanted to be seen. Tristan started his engine. How's that account tracking coming? Jonas sighed. Found 6 properties purchased in the last month. All cash. All through different shells. But here's the thing. Elena's fingerprints are all over the paperwork. She's not just stealing from them. She's setting up her own operation. She always was ambitious, Tristan said icily. Send me the addresses. Tris, listen. These people, they're gonna figure it out soon. When they do, I know. That's what I'm counting on. He ended the call, checking the time. 1 hour until his promised return home. Enough time to do some recon on Chan's office. His phone buzzed with a text from Damien. She's asking for you. Bad dream. Tristan stared at the message, then at the envelope full of leads. Chan's office would still be there tomorrow. His daughter needed him now. On my way, he texted back, pulling out of the parking lot. 20 minutes later, he sat on Melody's bed, holding her as she cried about dreams where bad men took him away. I'm right here, he whispered, stroking her hair. Nobody's taking me anywhere. Promise. I promise. He meant it, even as his mind worked on tomorrow's plans. Want to tell me about the picture you drew in art class? She stiffened slightly. Ms. Johnson showed you. No, but I'd like to see it. Want to tell me about it? Melody was quiet for a long moment. I drew you being strong, like you always are. But what, sweetheart? Sometimes I wish you didn't have to be so strong, she said in a very small voice. Sometimes I just wish you could be here, reading stories and helping with homework. Like before, Tristan closed his eyes, feeling the weight of his choices. How about this? Tomorrow, no investigations, no leads, just you and me. We can work on your book report, maybe get ice cream after school. Sound good? Really? Hope crept into her voice. Really? She studied him. You won't have to go talk to scary people. Really? Chan's office can wait another day. Who's Chan? He silently cursed his slip. Nobody important, just work stuff. Now, how about that story you wanted me to read? The one about the brave princess. As he read, his daughter curled against him like she used to before everything changed. He made a decision. The investigation would continue, the justice would come, but not at the cost of more trauma to Melody. He'd find a better balance. But first, he had to deal with Daniel Chan, because if Elena's theft was discovered before he was ready, everything would explode. and his daughter would be caught in the crossfire. Daniel Chan's office sat above his cousin's body shop, a small space that smelled of cigarettes and desperation. At midnight, the only light came from his computer screen as he pored over account records, trying to trace the missing money before his bosses discovered the discrepancy. The door opened silently behind him. Working late, Tristan's voice was conversational, but Chan's blood ran cold. "How did you?" Chan spun in his chair, reaching for his desk drawer. Looking for this, Tristan held up a small handgun, emptying the magazine onto Chan's desk. "Cheap security system, cheaper locks. You should invest in better protection, considering what you're hiding here." Chan's eyes darted to his phone. "Don't bother," Tristan said, sitting across from him. "Lines are cut, and your parking lot camera been showing the same empty lot footage for the past hour. Military technology, fascinating stuff. What do you want?" "Information." Tristan placed a USB drive on the desk. "About my wife's creative accounting." Chan's face went pale. "I don't know what you're. 50,000 last week. More before that. Offshore accounts, property purchases through shell companies." Tristan's voice hardened. "She's stealing from your organization, and you're helping her hide it." "You don't understand," Chan whispered. "If they find out, they're going to. The question is, do you want to be holding the bag when they do?" Sweat beaded on Chan's forehead. "Look, your wife. She's crazy. Started small, skimming a few grand here and there, then bigger amounts. Said she needed insurance, leverage in case things went bad with Ryder." "How much, total?" "Close to $500,000, maybe more. She's good at hiding money. Better than Ryder knows. Be moving it through accounts I can't trace." Tristan leaned forward. "And you helped her?" "She threatened to expose everything if I didn't. Said she had records, proof of all our operations. If she turned it over to the feds." Chan laughed nervously. "What was I supposed to do? Where'd she keeping the proof?" Chan's laugh died. "You think she told me? All I know is she's got something big planned. Kept talking about starting fresh, new identities. She and Ryder were supposed to disappear next month, but..." He swallowed hard. "She's planning to disappear alone. Leave him holding the bag when the bosses come looking for their money." Tristan processed this, his tactical mind assembling pieces. "The property she bought. Where?" "I can't." Tristan moved with military precision, pinning Chan to his desk, arm twisted at an unnatural angle. "Try again." "Storage facility." Chan gasped. "Off Highway 9. Bought through a shell company last month. She keeps going there late at night. Please, that's all I know." Tristan released him, watching him slump. "The money from my accounts, my daughter's college fund. Where did it go?" Chan rubbed his arm, fear making him honest. "Split between 3 offshore accounts, but 2 are empty now. She's been consolidating everything, getting ready to run. Account numbers. In my computer, passwords are my daughter's birthday, 03/17/1992. Tristan accessed the files, transferring them to his drive. "You're going to do something for me." "What?" "Keep hiding her theft for exactly 1 more week." Chan's eyes widened. "A week? They'll kill me if they find out." "They'll kill you anyway once they realize you helped her." Tristan stood. 1 week. That's all I need. After that, what happens to Alina and Ryder won't be your problem anymore. And if I don't?" Tristan's smile was cold. "Then what happens to them happens to you first." He left Chan shaking in his office, mind already planning his next move. His phone buzzed. "Damien, tell me you're not doing anything stupid," his brother said. "Define stupid." "Tris, there's something you need to know. That picture Melody drew, there was another one. Of Alina." Tristan's steps faltered. "What about it?" "She drew her mom with a gun. Said she heard her talking about shooting someone. Said she saw the gun in Mom's purse once, right before she left." Ice filled Tristan's veins. "When was this?" "Few days before she dropped Melody off." "There's more." Melody said she heard her mom on the phone talking about taking care of loose ends before disappearing. Chen, Tristan breathed. She's going to kill him to cover her tracks. What are you going to do? Tristan was already heading back to Chan's office. Call Jonas. Tell him to check recent gun purchases under Elena's known aliases. And Damien, keep Melody close. If Elena's tying up loose ends, he didn't finish the sentence. Didn't need to. But when he reached Chan's office, the door was open. Inside, the computer screen glowed in the darkness, illuminating an empty chair. On the desk, written in lipstick on a mirror, was a message. Too late, soldier boy. Should have moved faster. See you soon. Tristan's phone rang. Jonas. She just bought a gun, his friend said without preamble. Licensed under one of her shell companies, Desert Eagle. Heavy firepower for a woman her size. She's not planning to run, Tristan realized. She's planning something else. Where's the storage facility? Sending coordinates now. But Tris, local PD just got a call. Shots fired at Commerce Street. Chan's dead. The world narrowed to tactical clarity. In his mind, he could see Elena's plan taking shape. The money, the gun, the elaborate shell game with accounts. She wasn't just running. She was orchestrating a bloodbath. I need everything, he told Jonas. Every property, every account, every place she might go. She's not just covering her tracks. She's laying a trail, making sure when she disappears, Ryder and his bosses come looking for me. Why would she? Because she knows I'll find her eventually. Knows I won't stop until I do. So she's making sure if she goes down, she takes everyone with her. His voice was ice. She's playing us all against each other. Tris, think about Melody. If this turns into a war, I am thinking about Melody. That's why I'm ending this. Tonight. He ended the call, staring at Elena's message. All the pieces were there. The money trails, the properties, the gun. Elena wasn't just running. She was orchestrating a war between him and Ryder's organization, using their daughter as leverage. His phone buzzed again. Damien. She's here, his brother hissed. Elena. Outside the house, right now. Tristan's blood turned to ice. Is Melody safe? Got her in the panic room, like you said. But Tris, Elena's not alone. Ryder's with her. Keep them talking. I'm 10 minutes out. They're not here to talk. They've got guys covering every exit. They're looking for something. The evidence, Tristan realized. Check Melody's backpack, the one from our old house. He heard rustling, then a sharp intake of breath. Flash drive, hidden in a stuffed rabbit. Upload it now, send it to every contact you can. What is this stuff? Account numbers, property deeds. Jesus, Tris. This is everything. All their operations. Insurance policy, Tristan said grimly. Elena's backup plan. If she goes down, everyone goes down. A new voice cut through the phone. Elena's, distant but clear. Come on out, soldier boy. We know you're listening. Time to finish this game. Tristan's grip tightened on his phone. After 15 months of war, 3 weeks of hunting, it had come to this. His wife's voice, once loved, now twisted with malice, calling him out for a final confrontation. Melody's safe, he asked Damien. Panic room's solid. They can't get to her. Uploading that evidence now. If anything happens, nothing's happening to me, Tristan said. Just be careful. He ended the call, mind shifting into combat mode. The storage facility search parties, irrelevant now. Elena was making her final move at his brother's house. The war had come home. The storage facility loomed against the pre-dawn sky, a maze of identical metal units stretching into darkness. Tristan crouched behind his truck, watching Ryder's men search the rows with flashlights. They'd found Chan's body an hour ago, and now the hunt was on. His phone vibrated. Jonas. Local PD found surveillance footage. Jonas whispered. It's bad, Tris. Elena executed Chan point blank, left evidence pointing to you. She's playing them against each other, making Ryder think you killed his accountant while stealing their money. That's not all, Tristan said, tracking the search party's movements. She bought property in my name, forging my identity, framing me for the money laundering too. Tris, Ryder's crew isn't just street muscle anymore. These guys are professional military contractors. Ex-special forces. They're hunting you with thermal imaging, comms gear. Good. Tristan checked his watch. Means they're predictable. Trained men follow patterns. This isn't a combat zone. Everything's a combat zone now. Tristan's voice hardened. Alina made it one when she brought our daughter into this. He ended the call, focusing on the search party. They were moving deeper into the complex, leaving the perimeter exposed. Amateur mistake. Real soldiers never abandon their flanks. His phone lit up with a final text from Jonas. Police en route. 10 minutes. Whatever you're planning, make it fast. Tristan checked his weapons. No guns, nothing lethal. He hadn't survived 3 combat tours by killing needlessly, but he had other skills. The pre-dawn air carried Alina's taunting voice from Damien's house, calling him out, threatening his family, playing her final hand. I'm coming home, baby girl, he whispered, thinking of Melody, safe in the panic room. Daddy's coming home. Then he moved into the shadows, becoming one with the darkness. The warrior was gone, replaced by something else, something that had learned its trade in places where rules didn't exist, and mercy was a liability. Ryder's men never saw him coming. The first one went down silently, a precise strike to the nerve cluster in his neck. The second managed half a shout before unconsciousness claimed him. Professional soldiers, Jonas had said, but professionals expected professional tactics. They weren't ready for a father fighting for his child. Across town, Alina paced Damien's front yard, Desert Eagle gleaming in the pre-dawn light. Ryder lounged against his car, trying to project confidence despite the sweat on his forehead. He's not coming, Ryder snapped. Your ex isn't that stupid. Alina's laugh was brittle. You don't know him like I do. The great Sergeant Lake, always so righteous, so honorable. Push the right buttons, and he'll come running like a good little soldier. This is taking too long. We should just grab the kid, force his hand. The gun swung toward him. Touch my daughter, and I'll end you myself. Ryder's eyes narrowed. Your daughter. Thought you didn't want to be a mother. I don't. Alina snarled. But she's still useful. Insurance. Her smile was razor sharp. Speaking of insurance, how's the money looking? Found those missing accounts yet? Before Ryder could answer, a shadow detached itself from the darkness behind him. A familiar voice spoke, cold as Arctic wind. Hello, Alina. Miss me? The war had come home. Alina's finger tightened on the Desert Eagle's trigger, but Tristan was already moving. His hand shot out, catching Ryder's throat in a precise grip that left the younger man gasping. Drop it, Tristan told his wife, voice deadly calm. Or your boyfriend learns how quickly a crushed windpipe can end a career. Still playing the hero. Alina's laugh was sharp as broken glass. Always so controlled, so righteous. Did you figure it all out yet, soldier boy? All the pieces of my little game. Money laundering, shell companies, murder. Tristan's grip tightened slightly, making Ryder wheeze. Setting us against each other while you planned your escape. Not very original. Original enough to work. Alina spat. Your military buddies are already investigating you for Chan's murder. Ryder's bosses think you stole their money. And that evidence in Melody's backpack. My insurance, it guarantees everyone goes down if I do. Where's the kid? Ryder choked out. The evidence is safe. Tristan cut him off. Unlike you. Alina's gun hadn't wavered. Let him go, Tristan, or this ends badly for everyone. Like it ended for Chan. His voice hardened. An unarmed accountant, shot in the back. This is what you've become. I became what I had to. The first crack appeared in her composure. 15 months alone. playing perfect military wife while you chase glory in some desert. You have no idea what I'm capable of. I do now. Tristan's eyes were cold. Using our daughter as a pawn, threatening her school, making her carry evidence she didn't even understand. She's stronger than you think. Elena snapped. She's 10 years old. The rage finally colored his voice. She hides in closets from nightmares, draws pictures of her mother with a gun. That's what you did to her. Ryder made a grab for something in his jacket. Tristan's combat training took over. In one fluid motion, he disarmed the younger man and slammed him face first into his precious car. Stay down, Tristan advised quietly. The adults are talking. You don't understand. Elena's voice cracked slightly. I had a plan. Everything was perfect until Chan got suspicious, started asking questions about the missing money. So you killed him, framed me, used our daughter as leverage, Tristan said, voice grim. I protected her. Those men Ryder works for, they don't leave witnesses, not even children. Her gun hand trembled. That evidence, the money, the setup, it was all insurance to keep her safe. By threatening her, terrorizing her, by giving her a way out. Tristan saw the madness in Elena's eyes. You really believe that money and property make up for what you did to her? Better rich and alive than dead in a ditch when Ryder's bosses come calling. She cried, the desert eagle shaking in her grip. You have no idea what they're capable of. Actually, I do, Tristan said coldly. While you were playing your games, I was hunting, learning. Those professional soldiers. His eyes flicked to the bruised, unconscious men scattered around. Already dealt with. Your offshore accounts. Frozen. The evidence against Ryder's organization, being uploaded to law enforcement agencies right now. Color drained from her face. You're lying. Check your phone. The news should be breaking soon. Major criminal enterprise exposed. Multiple arrests in progress. Your insurance policy just burned down around you. You don't understand what you've done. Real fear crept into her voice. They'll kill us all. No one's killing anyone, Tristan said, voice of steel. Because unlike you, I don't leave loose ends. Sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. Ryder stirred, reaching again for his waistband. He managed half a turn before Tristan's fist connected with surgical precision. The younger man dropped, gun clattering unfired. Amateur, Tristan muttered, securing both weapons as FBI vehicles screamed into the driveway. Real soldiers check for backup weapons first. Elena laughed bitterly as agents swarmed the yard. Still teaching lessons, even now. Last one you'll get from me. He stepped back, watching federal agents secure them both. Goodbye, Elena. Wait. She tried to turn as they cuffed her. Melody, tell her yourself, in about 20 years, when you're eligible for parole. He turned away, heading for the house where his daughter waited. Behind him, he heard Elena's curses mixed with Ryder's protests and the efficient sounds of federal agents reading rights. Damien met him at the door. It's done, his brother asked, eyes wide. It's done. Tristan felt 15 months of war, 3 weeks of hunting, finally leave his shoulders. Melody still in the panic room. She heard everything through the monitoring system. Damien's eyes were worried. She's asking for you. Tristan nodded, climbing the stairs with leaden feet. The hardest battle waited behind the reinforced door, harder than any firefight or covert operation. How do you tell a 10-year-old that sometimes justice hurts worse than the crime? The panic room door clicked open at Tristan's code, revealing Melody curled in the corner with her stuffed rabbit. Security monitors showed the scene outside. FBI agents leading Elena and Ryder to separate vehicles, evidence being catalogued, the nightmare finally ending in the gray light of dawn. Is it over? Melody's voice was small but steady. Tristan knelt before his daughter, taking in her tear-stained face, the way her small hands clutched her rabbit. It's over, baby girl. They can't hurt us anymore. I heard everything. She met his eyes, too wise for her years. Through the monitors. Mom, she really killed someone. Yes. Tristan wouldn't lie to her. She made bad choices, hurt people, but that's not your fault. She said she did it to protect me. Melody's voice cracked. That's not true, is it? No, sweetheart. People sometimes tell themselves lies to make bad actions seem okay. But hurting others is never the way to protect someone you love. Melody was quiet for a long moment, processing. Is she going to jail? Yes. Her and Ryder both. For a long time. Good. The word was fierce, surprising them both. Melody's eyes filled with fresh tears. Is that bad? That I want her to go away. Tristan gathered his daughter into his arms, feeling her small body shake with sobs. No, baby. It's not bad. It's honest. And being honest about our feelings, even the hard ones, that's how we start to heal. Like in my therapy books. She hiccuped against his shoulder. About processing trauma. A sad smile touched his lips. His 10-year-old shouldn't know words like trauma or need therapy books, but she did. And they'd face that reality together. Exactly like that. He stroked her hair. And you know what else? What? You were so brave, keeping that evidence safe, not letting her manipulate you at school. I am so proud of you. Melody pulled back slightly. Even though I was scared, especially because you were scared. Real courage isn't about not feeling fear. It's about doing what's right even when you're afraid. Like you did, fighting the bad guys. Melody looked at him. Tristan thought about the past 3 weeks. The hunt, the violence, the fine line he'd walked between justice and revenge. I was scared too, baby. Scared of losing you. Scared of not being the father you deserve. You're the best dad ever. Melody's voice was firm. You saved us, like a real hero. No, sweetheart, you saved us. Your strength, your honesty, that's what got us through this. I just cleaned up the mess. A small smile flickered across her face, the first real one he'd seen in weeks. Outside, the sun was rising, painting the room in shades of hope. Damien appeared in the doorway. FBI wants statements from both of you, when you're ready. 5 more minutes, Tristan said, not letting go of his daughter. Melody snuggled closer. Can we have pancakes after? With chocolate chips? Of course we can. He kissed the top of her head. And then maybe we can talk about what happens next. What happens next? Well, first we find our own place. Something with a big backyard for that dog you've been asking for. Her head shot up. Really? We can get a dog. Really? Then maybe look at some new schools. Ones with good art programs, since you're getting so good at drawing. Can I take real art classes? Mom said they were a waste-off. She stopped, pain flickering across her face. Hey, Tristan tilted her chin up gently. New rule. You get to choose your activities. Art, music, sports. Whatever makes you happy. No more letting others decide your worth. Fresh tears spilled, but these were different. Healing tears. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, baby girl. More than anything. They sat together as the sun rose fully, holding each other in the safety they'd fought so hard to win. Outside, FBI agents continued their work. Somewhere Elena and Ryder were beginning their journey through the justice system. The evidence would ensure long sentences for everyone involved. But in that moment, none of that mattered. What mattered was a father and daughter starting to heal, planning a future that was finally their own. Later, there would be statements to give, therapy sessions to attend, a new home to find, and a life to rebuild. The road ahead wouldn't be easy, but they'd face it together. Ready to go make those pancakes? Tristan asked softly. Melody nodded against his chest. With extra chocolate chips. With all the chocolate chips you want. They stood together, hand in hand, ready to face whatever came next. The warrior was gone, replaced by something far more important. A father who'd moved heaven and earth to protect his child, and would do it again in a heartbeat. But for now, there were pancakes to make, a dog to choose, art classes to explore, a future to build, one small moment at a time. And somewhere in that future, a little girl's drawings would no longer show guns and darkness. They would show light and hope, and the unbreakable bond between a father and daughter who had weathered the storm together. The sun rose higher, chasing away the last shadows of night. In the kitchen, Melody's laughter mixed with the smell of pancakes and the sound of Damien's terrible jokes. The hunt was over. The healing had begun. And in the end, love had proven stronger than betrayal.